Okay, this is the removal of the E39 front wheel bearing. As you can see, I have the longer strut. Some of them are fitted with Bilsteins, I believe, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, this is the V8 one with the original suspension set up, so it's got the M Sport something or other. Anyway, so as you can see, it's a rather long strut. When you remove all four bolts, you'll find that there's two this side that are very, very difficult to get into. The top one's difficult, but manageable. The bottom one is nigh on impossible. Now, if you're a purist, you won't want to follow this method because it means leaving two of the bolts in. But I just use some thread locker. I've got some right lock and some 66 stud grade, so they won't be getting moved anyway. So I've removed the disc and the caliper, of course. So you want to get into these two bolts. So the top one, as I say, that's okay. It's not a problem. As you can see, so at the bottom one, I've had to fashion this wrench here. And you'll notice it's not actually an 18mm, it's an 11/16. Now I find this fits the bolt a lot more snug than an 18mm, but that's what works for me anyway. So what I've done is I've chamfered the front edge of the wrench. Be very careful not to blue the metal, because when you're grinding it, it can take off quite a lot more than you realise quite quickly. So I've chamfered this to this angle, and the reason I've done this and not taken it straight across is because you start to lose the structural integrity of the spanner. So you want to make sure you put a lot of torque through that. So as you can see, there's a troublesome bolt, and my spanner slips in between the strut and the hub. Gives me full access to the bolt nice and snugly. Now you need to use this offset design wrench, of course. Now before I remove this, I have to put some heat onto it. So just with the stud, use a regular blowtorch and heat the end of the stud, which I've already done. Just had a bit of WD-40 on it as well, and a little bit of help, you can remove it. Now of course the stud won't come out all the way, so what you have to do is you have to start pulling the bearing forwards as you're bringing the nut, as they're bringing the bolt, backwards. So you can only take it so far. You just keep turning that, and as you're turning it, you just keep putting pressure on the bearing itself, and that will leave the top stud and the bottom stud in place. And as I say, just use some thread locker and put these two back on first. Turn your steering the other way, and you can whiz the other two, the rear ones or rear bolts, rather easily. So just a little help if you're reading forums and you can't quite understand the diagrams. Just a little video just to let you know how to do it properly.